because I'm German and I'm like a little plant. I need vitamin D. And if I don't have it, I'm just really sad. Like you can't imagine now, but I'm really sad if I don't have sun.
Hi, I'm Theo, and I document stories about starting over abroad. That was my friend Joelle. She is German, and she is like a little plant who needs sun to bloom and survive. So naturally, she moved to Valencia 2 years ago, where she can get sunshine for days. She is the first guest in my interview series from scratch. When I first met her at the co-working space where she works as the community manager, I remember thinking, she is such a ray of sunshine. She just exudes positivity. She's like a magnet to people. So I was surprised to hear that her first year in Valencia was lonely. Spoiler alert, she eventually found her people, but it did take some growth along the way. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. So Joelle, tell me, how long ago did you move to Valencia?
In theory, if you sum everything together that I've been in Valencia, it's 2 years. But I lived in Valencia last year for 8 months. Then I went back to Germany for a while and then came back just this April.
And so what brought you to Valencia?
Initially, honestly, the sun, because I'm German and I'm like a little plant. I need vitamin D. And if I don't have it, I'm just really sad. Like you can't imagine now, but I'm really sad if I don't have sun and I don't have energy. So that's why I moved mainly, because it has ocean, it has sun, and it has, the Spanish lifestyle.
So before you moved to Valencia, had you ever moved abroad before, or was this your first time living abroad?
I lived abroad half a year before in the north of Spain, in Gijón. And I volunteered there and I learned surfing and all of that cool stuff that you can do in the north.
Yeah.
But in the north, it was not sunny enough for my taste because the winter was really rainy. So I was like, maybe I got to go more down south,
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in Valencia.
And so when you were deciding to move to Spain in general, what scared you the most about starting over in a new country?
I think what scared me the most was being alone. Because if you move on your own and you don't know anyone, there is a risk of not finding your people.
Yeah.
And then you're just alone. And I'm super used to having like my heart people around me, like people that I really, really love. And then not being sure that I will find the same type of people and like find my tribe was like a bit sketchy. But I mean, look at me now.
Look how great you're doing so great. I remember the first time I met you at the co-working. You were like, I've been here like 3 months or something like that. And I was like, what? You know everyone? You plan all of these events.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm a people person, but I need to have like deep relationships to feel like actually fulfilled. Because I know a lot of people, because naturally I'm an extroverted person, but knowing a lot of people is not equal to having deep friendships.
Yeah.
So last year when I lived here initially, I had so many friendships, but I never felt like I really belonged anywhere. And I often had that feeling of, dude, like if I wouldn't be here right now, no one would notice. And that was heart shattering, man. Like I had such a hard time last year. But when I moved back in April, like everything was different. And I found my people, found my tribe, and it's been amazing.
That's awesome. And so you were scared about being alone and not finding your people. What pushed you to take the risk anyway and do it and move here?
What pushed me to move, despite of having fear, is that I know that fear is a concept of my head. I know that fear, it can be overcome because I just am scared because I learned to be so at some point. I know that for me, the fear that I have is irrational. So I don't need to be scared of anything, because I have this belief that if something is meant for you, it will happen and it will work. And I walk through life this way, and that's why I live here. And that's why I moved here, and that's why I'm having such a good time, because when I came here and this fear of not finding your people came true, I realized after a while, dude, like maybe it is because right now you're not meant to be here. And that actually was the case. And then I went back to Germany to start self-employment. But when I came back in April for initially 2 weeks of vacation, everything suddenly worked out because I didn't force it. And I think if you don't force anything, things can flow and things will happen just the way that they need to happen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also feel like I wasn't scared of moving abroad because the good things that I saw in moving abroad and the growth that I saw in it were greater than the fear.
So what has surprised you the most about starting over in a new country?
I think what surprised me most when I had to start over here, my first year, was that it ended up being harder for me to make friends than I thought, because I am so social. I was like, nah, that's never going to be a problem. And it also surprised me that there's so many foreigners because I imagined like this, I don't know, in my head, this was like this little Spanish town where like only locals, you know? Nah, man, like there's almost more international people than
I've met more
locals.
German people that I have met.
Yeah, and also Germans are everywhere. So I was like, I heard so much German. I was like, damn, what is so many German? Why are so many Dutchies? Why are so many French people? So I think that really surprised me. And also, I was like kind of picky. I got to say that. I was like, I don't want to be friends with these people because I want to speak Spanish, you know? Yeah. So it was hard to find Spanish people. And it surprised me that it was so hard to find like Spanish local circles.
I love what you said about it wasn't the right time before to find like your people, like deep friendships, and now it's happened. What is different this time around that has led you to find close friends?
It's my mentality, honestly. My first year prepared me for my second year. And the things that I learned in the first year made me realize like, oh, okay, I want to talk to my psychologist and look at this again. And I know that I had a big struggle, one that is bigger than usual in that area because this fear of not finding people or not being loved or whatever, like that's a deep fear. And I need to look over that in order to not just hang out with people, to not feel alone and to understand that being alone is healthy and good. Realize you can enjoy just spending time with yourself. And I feel like after learning that lesson, it was so much more easy to like be here and like also not having this mental stress of being like, oh man, I need to find friends right now because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do because I have so much time and I don't want to spend it alone. Right? You know what I mean? So that really helped.
So do you remember your first night in Valencia?
I do remember my first night in Valencia. It was really good, but also really weird and a little bit terrifying as well.
Yeah.
There were like so many things on my mind because suddenly you're an adult and you can't rely on any like family members or friends around. Like you just got to do all of the things that you need to do kind of on your own because you don't know anyone because you're the only one in the city that you know. So it was a lot, but at the same time, I was really, really happy to be there and I was really excited. And it was like, you know, it felt like a new beginning. So I had mixed feelings, but the positive ones were bigger than the scary ones.
So when you think back to that first night alone, scared, your Airbnb, what do you know about yourself now that you didn't know before?
I think it sounds cliche, but it's probably that I just made the best decision I could have ever made because it made me grow so much moving abroad and being in a totally unknown city without knowing anyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like because the situation is so extreme, like you get pushed out of your comfort zone on every level you could get pushed out.
Yeah.
And I feel like it makes you grow in such a fast way, which is also kind of exhausting because you're kind of like, sometimes I just tap my room, I was like, dude,
can I stop growing?
Can I stop growing? Can we take a break, guys? And then at the same time, this thought of, hey man, like you can do it.
Yeah.
You got this. You're super intelligent. You're a great woman. Don't worry about it. Because I think the thing that I learned most is just the whole self-love and valuing myself topic.
Yeah.
And just knowing that I have a worth because, dude, like I was born. That's the worth that I just have. Like I don't need to prove anything to anyone ever to, you know, to show that I did a great thing. And I feel like the past 2 years really pushed me like into a deeper understanding of who I am and a deeper understanding of where I want to go and a deeper understanding of that I can do anything that I put into my mind. And there's no need to be scared because even if you might fail, you grow anyways. You know, even if you make a mistake, you will not do it again next time, you know?
Exactly.
And yeah. So there's been a lot of personal growth and I'm really, really grateful for it. And I'm also grateful for the hard time that I had. I feel especially grateful for the hard time.
Yes.
Because it was hard at the time, but it made me grow so much that now my life is so much nicer, you know? Because I needed to look at the topics that were underneath the fears and the doubts and the whatevers. And that, at the end of the day, sets you free.
Yes. So all in all, starting over, would you say it was worth it?
Starting over was so worth it. Oh, man. You know what? It's always worth it. I feel like if you have this feeling of like, man, I need to start over, there's a reason why you feel this way. I like what I'm learning and like what I'm doing and like my work. So yeah, was worth it to go out of the comfort zone.
I'm so glad I've met you. And thank you for taking this walk with me, Joelle. I appreciate you.